It was a very impressive showing for the first annual Queens World Film Festival in Jackson Heights, Queens. From March 3rd through the 6th, hundreds of movie makers and movie lovers alike gathered at the historic Jackson Heights Cinema to celebrate the art of film. Film Festival Director Katha Cato says this was a great success.
We have had an amazing response, and it's the power of the internet. We really formed a community with the filmmakers early on by Facebooking everybody and tweeting and whatever, everybody. And then we sent out a pretty good press release and targeted some pretty good films. And the press, the Queens Chronicle, Queens Tribune, the Ledger, Daily News, WOR, WBAI, New York One has been super supportive. So really, obviously, I think the press knows that the public is interested in this. The public are interested in this, and they've been coming out. So Monday, when we kind of regroup, we'll find out what year 2 looks like, but right now it looks pretty good. We're very happy.
Now the big hit at the Queens World Film Festival was Maggie Marvel, Hired Killer, Single Mom, part of the Saturday night Mobster Mash block of films. Almost the entire cast of this independent dark comedy showed up. In fact, they packed the theater and won the Audience Choice Award for Best Film. Dan Brennan, the film's director, says he's thrilled to have Maggie Marvel as part of the Queens World Film Festival.
This is really a spectacular festival. Don and Katha Cato have really put together a truly independent festival. You know, places like Sundance and Tribeca, they tend to cater to the much bigger budget movies. But this is a really true independent film festival. It has movies from around the world, and it has movies from around the corner. Our film is Maggie Marvel. Maggie is a single mom who needs to make extra money, so she becomes a contract killer, only to find out she's very good at it. So the comedy really comes from a mother who's raising a 10-year-old daughter during the daytime and has to go out and kill people at night and somehow try and make that crazy thing work.
The film stars Selena Beretta and Diana Brennan as mother-daughter in this independent film comedy.
I'm super excited. I just was excited on the 7 train over here. I said I'd never been on the 7 train before, and then I got out and I was like, I don't know where I am, but I'm so excited to watch this film.
Well, it's actually really exciting because the theaters are really just beautiful in general, and just to be in a movie is just amazing. Well, it's kind of an odd feeling because it's just kind of like, hey, that's me on the screen, and other things like, I could have done better in that. It's embarrassing at some points because it's like, that's me on the screen. I don't know, it's a weird feeling.
A large portion of the film was actually shot in Bayside, Queens. Queens is really a spectacular place to make a movie because, you know, people don't realize that Queens is not only culturally diverse, but it's architecturally diverse. You can make any part of Queens look like any part of the country. Queens has some of the greatest locations imaginable. We shot in some of the parks here. Maggie Marvel's house is in Bayside, Queens. And then for us to be honored to be in the Queens World Film Festival, it really makes the whole thing come together nicely.
I think it's, as part of New York, it is a very diverse place, and it's a hub of where everyone comes who is artistic in any way, and it's why all of the indie movies are being created here, and even the Hollywood movies are being cast with actors from New York because New York is the center of the creative world, I think. So it's exciting to be here, and I'm happy to be part of the Queens Film Festival.
All the actors are from Queens, Brooklyn, a few out on Long Island. Another thing that people don't realize is this is New York. The greatest actors in the world live in New York. So if you're a New York filmmaker, you have access to that, and it's a huge advantage when you're making a film. New York City is really one of the greatest backdrops in the world. I mean, people come from all over the world to shoot here, but this is our backyard. You know, we get it for free, or for, you know, the small price of a permit. And by putting New York in your background, it really adds a lot of authenticity. It takes these low-budget films and really makes them look like big-budget features.
Bill Cerisi, who's originally from Queens, submitted his short film, Vino.
I'm a native Queens, New Yorker, born and raised in Richmond Hill, Queens. I've lived most of my adult life in Manhattan, but I'm just thrilled to be back here in Queens and be selected for this festival, and I'm in full support of it. I've been around the country with the film, been to Los Angeles, been to Wisconsin, so on and so forth, but to be back in my hometown is really special. It's a New York film, mostly about Italian Americans, as you will see. It is a very dark comedy mob spoof. Vino. It's about a mob boss who contemplates leaving the mob to become a wine connoisseur. It's The Godfather meets The Sopranos, meets Goodfellas, meets Sideways. A friend of mine came over one night showed me a trailer on YouTube, a 2-minute trailer of a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, who was in a mob film. He moved out to Los Angeles. She showed me the trailer. It was marketed as a drama. I found it to be hysterical because every 2 minutes somebody was dropping the F-bomb and getting whacked. And I said, I know I have a short comedy here. And I believe I do, because the film's made it into 11 festivals and I've won 2 awards thus far.
Well, we just finished day 3 at both of the locations. We had 4 screenings going on today, 4 screens. We screened a lot of films today, and a lot of people who have never come to Jackson Heights were in Jackson Heights, and a lot of people who have never been in this beautiful theater were here, and so it's really mission accomplished. The filmmakers have been universally very, very supportive and very much thanking us for the quality of the screenings that they got and the quality of sound that they got, and we're very pleased with that. Jackson Heights is the world. You run across every culture, every nationality here, and you can get excellent food from around the world. So we're really trying to feature films from around the world and around the corner. Well, we've had 2 extraordinary panels, and one was the film finance in the new market with Jim Germanic and Mike S. Ryan, and Google them. They're huge names. We were really fortunate to have them, and that was an extraordinary opportunity for a lot of filmmakers. We're a first-year film festival. You know, we have excellent films, but we're not the A-list. So filmmakers at this level are really building their resume. They need each other. We're building community. They're going to work on each other's films. They're going to keep in contact with each other. The networking possibilities out of that panel alone were extraordinary.
What people don't realize is independent filmmakers desperately, desperately need film festivals to get to a larger audience. And that's what's so fantastic about Katha and Don Cato. What they've done for independent filmmakers is they've given them a voice, they've given them an audience, which will then give them distribution and take what a lot of us look at as a hobby and turn it into a real job.
In Jackson Heights, Chris Collora reporting.